Today I wanted to provide a practice sheet, practice guide. So go to the new module, and if you go to week 4, you will see practice guide for MTCE week 4. So let's get started on this. So first I have sight reading practice. So let's start with the melody, and the reason why I wanted to bring this is to especially work on the fingering. So think about how you would approach the fingering. So if you weren't thinking that much, you might start, but you'll have to jump to, right? But we've been doing scales, and this is why we do scales. So look at the tonic. Tonic usually gets the thumb, just usually. And then the highest note, look at the highest note, and the highest note usually ends on the pinky. So to get there, it's much easier to do. So you're flipping as if you're doing the scale, right? And let's look at the next one. So intuitively, if you're sight reading, you might want to try to start on a 1 because that's where you end. Do something like that. But however, I think it's much better, and you have a higher chance of continuing to do well in sight reading if you just reorient yourself to the tonic. So let's try that together. Reorient. The next part, same thing. And here, you also follow what you would do in the scale, which is flip. So let's try the whole thing together. Get ready. 1, 2, 3, go. I wanted to talk about the fingering because I think the first thing that goes out of your head when you are sight reading is the fingering part. So don't try to just sight read right away. See what components there are. You see, okay, the tonic is C, and then think about, oh, okay, it's gonna go over there. Okay, if I have to come back to the C, what's the best way to do that? You know, just kind of think ahead and orient yourself before you start sight reading. Another thing is being mindful of the rhythms. So just kind of count in your head, like, okay, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. I mean, this is a song that you already know, so probably it's a little easier for you to figure that out. Okay, so if that's the case, let's try to add the left hand. So today we learned the duple meter left hand. So you could do something really simple like, or you could do, but as you can see, the chord change are inconsistent because C has 4 beats, but then F has 2 beats, right? So just doing something that's more mindful and easier for you to keep track of, like, could be nice, that could be easy, so it's your choice. But let's go through the whole thing. I'm gonna do kumchak. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm a little deeper. Here is my gun. And here, when it says C/G/G, it means we are in C chord, but we want the bass to be in G. So you would just go And I would do block chords here. C chord based on G. Exactly. Let's add the right hand. Let me see if I can orient this. Oops. Okay. I have to orient myself this way. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's kind of what they're looking for when they're talking about doing a sight reading. But let's do sight reading, but trying to sing it. So taking it into a two-handed accompaniment and then accompanying your voice with it. So if we still stick with the alternating one, on the left hand you can just stay on the, and on the right hand you have the, and then at the end, let's just talk about the end. It'll be C, G, C. On the left hand, you just want to emulate the sound. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Oops, actually, yeah, we are doing the singing. And another thing, I would orient my finger, thumb on the C, this way, just because the thumb is the strongest, and then it's easier if the tonic has the strongest finger. So instead of going, I would go. It's a personal preference, but I found it easier, so it's just a tip. Okay, let's get started. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm a little tip. Oh my god, I can't hold this and sing it at the same time. I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is my candle, here is my spout. When I get all dimmed up, then I shout, tip me over and pour me out. Okay. Oh, I played the G high because I don't know what happened. But that is okay. So just practice doing something like that. But that is an example of a lead sheet and a sight reading that you will be asked to do. So practice that. For the second part, I have chord progressions practice. We've done a lot of C, so I have in G. A good tip that I have is instead of trying to like memorize the inversions, try to actually practice. Think about what is in B minor, what 3 notes. You know, really get that into your head, and then you can kind of explore the inversions. And then think about what notes are in G. And then think about A and approach it that way. But I would also practice just doing left hand first, just the notes. And then I would try to practice it. And you know, it doesn't always have to be inverted, but whatever is the most efficient. So here, if you didn't feel like doing that, if you really wanted to go, that's really not a problem. We just don't want to do and then try to like go all the way here, just somewhat efficient. So we have D, B minor if you wanted to do it that way. You can do G this way. You can do A minor this way, or this way too. You can literally come down if you wanted. So explore your options, practice them. Practice them with integrity. Don't practice them just like, okay, this is the inversion that's provided, so I'm gonna do it exactly like that, because then our brain has a hard time processing information in that way when the situations change. So what if we start going from D to G instead of D to B minor? So really be authentic with the way you practice. Know what notes are in G. Do some of these, but here are some chord progressions that you can practice with this week. And then the last exercise that I have for you is pick a children's song and try to figure out the chord progression by ear. So they have pretty easy keys to figure it out. I think it would be a great practice if you did it in D, just because that's what we're doing. But I have some like things that you can explore with. So suppose like it's row your boat to C with the D, row your boat gently down the. Where do you think it goes? Probably A, right? Gently down the stream, merrily, and then think about life is but a dream. Just figure it out. Or twinkle twinkle little star, twinkle twinkle little star. Just kind of get in the habit of trying to figure out the chord with your ear instead of relying too much on chord sheets, because you know, I think it really builds the ear that we need to move forward in a more successful musical way, because that's what we're trying to gain. Yeah, but this is it for today. Happy practice.